What up, YouTube? This is Steven, and welcome back to another video. In this video, I want to share an article with you guys that I ran across on jpopasia.com. The title of the article is Ayumi Hamasaki Finalizes Second Divorce. Okay, so right off the bat, it's automatically, right off the bat, it's shade just being thrown at Ayumi right there. They ain't have to mention it was her second divorce. We know that. She know that. But I'm going to read through the article. It's pretty short and straight to the point. I'm just going to read through it and give my thoughts and opinions and see what, put it out there and, hopefully you guys make your comments and, have a dialogue and whatnot. So here we go. Ayumi has come forward to say that her divorce from her second husband has been completed. Okay, so Ayumi, she's being pretty open about this, And I respect Ayumi for being open about this, I could see her being a little embarrassed by this because it's her second divorce, Some people may have wanted to see this, relationship end, for various reasons. One, because of, race, culture, status, just because they don't like Ayumi, So I'll give Ayumi, a checkpoint for being able to be, open about this, See, the singer updates fans on September 30th through her official fan club website, Team IU. In the announcement, she made it clear that the quote-unquote divorce has been finished. So it seems like this is pretty quick, unless this was, took effect like way before she announced it, which is possible, But I wonder how that divorce, ended. Did he get any money? Did he, get any alimony? Did he just leave with what he came with? Ayumi's, a box with your things to the left. But let's see, the next part of the article, let's see. On September 29th, Ayumi appeared in public for the first time since announcing her separation. She did not respond to reporters' questions about whether the divorce had occurred. So, Ayumi, she ain't feeling the press. She ain't feeling them all up in her business, trying to ask questions. The reporters, when she came to somewhere in Japan, like 30 reporters were there hounding her, and asking her pretty much the same question, like, are you divorced, basically. And Ayumi just ain't got time for that, I guess she don't want to really deal with the press, not like that. She'd rather do it, through social media on her terms. However, she could do like a sit-down interview with like some, famous entertainment journalist, perhaps, she could do that for some promo. Let's see. In today's post, the singer explained that she did not feel compelled to speak to just anyone, but rather wanted to address her fans directly. All right, so that one's for you, IU, the IU army out there, y'all. I'm switching between the IU Mites and IU Army. I think I might go with the IU Army. I think that may flow better. Or maybe IU Armada, but I think the IU Army. I think that might work. But yeah, the IU Army, that one's for you. She wants to speak directly to the IU Army. And it's not that I'm not a part of the IU Army, but I don't think I'm worthy enough to say I'm a part of the IU Army. Because there's some people who've been like, I got every CD she ever made. I got all the singles. I got all her, CDs in physical format and digital format legally. I have her coffee table book. I know her locker to her, the locker combination to her 6th grade locker. It's like, but IU posted the following. So there won't be any confusion with the information. I wanted to clarify all the facts here. I want this first day to be refreshing, without any strange haze lingering over it. I want to explain myself just once, she wrote. Ayumi married her now ex-husband in March of 2014. This is her second marriage to end in divorce. We know that. You mentioned it in the title. Stop throwing shade at Ayumi, you know? Because, I think like Ayumi's been sort of like the target for a while. Like a lot of people seem to be throwing shade at Ayumi, you know? And I don't know why that is. I guess she's just it's just the point in her life where this is just happening. But yeah, Ayumi has been sort of the target lately. And like I said in previous videos, I did feel bad about hearing the news that she got divorced. I know when I was looking on the when I ran across it on, I forget which website, but when I ran across it, I was like, oh no, like oh man, like I felt bad, you know, because I wanted it to work out for her. I've listened to her songs. It seems like she really is looking for love. But some fans say that she may be going about it the wrong way, and that in a lot of the relationships that she's in, she seems to be pretty much the breadwinner, and she's like pretty much being like a sugar mama. And I may think that, well, I think that may be an issue. You know, hopefully Ayumi can take some, lessons away from this relationship to bring into her next relationship. I think she needs to date a man who has a status at least similar. He may not have to be, exactly up to her status, but just enough. Enough. You know, like say, for example, Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon. Mariah Carey has she's worth a lot more money than Nick Cannon is, but Nick Cannon has enough. Well, he had enough. They're divorced now, but he had enough. Where the status wasn't a big issue because after you have so many millions, once it all ends up being pretty much the same. After you so many millions anyway. Um, And also, I think she needs to date either a Japanese man or a Eurasian man. I think that may be the better thing for her. I think that these relationships that she's had, particularly with the white Western men, I think those relationships may be built more so off of other things that you probably shouldn't be building a relationship off of. I don't know Ayumi that well. I don't know if she has some sort of, I won't say that she has like a fetish, for Western white men or anything, because I don't really know her like that to say that, and I don't think she's really given that sort of impression through her music videos or anything that I've seen. But she at least has some sort of a desire, and I think some Japanese folks may be, feeling slighted by that, you know, as well. I don't know, the cultural difference could be an issue as well. You know, so many issues, but I wish Ayumi well. I hope that she does find somebody. Hopefully that somebody is coming along soon. But also, I hope that she doesn't rush into the next relationship and try to have a kid. I know that's on Ayumi's mind. My advice would be for Ayumi to possibly just freeze her eggs. If push comes to shove, worst comes to worst, like freeze your eggs. I know, I'm pretty sure she has more than enough money to do that. So she needs to freeze her eggs, and then when she finds the appropriate man, then they can go about having a kid, possibly with a surrogate if Ayumi can't have the kid herself. That way, the kid will still have their DNA. It just be with a different, it'll just be someone else doing the labor, which Ayumi may like. Ayumi kind of is stereotyped as being very vain and very much about her image, you know. But then again, I think that maybe childbirth might do her figure a little good, you know. No shade, I'm just saying, you know. But I think I said all I have to say. So thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Feel free to comment. Feel free to subscribe. Feel free to give me a thumbs up. Your feedback and support are extremely appreciated and extremely valued. Until the next video, adios and goodbye for now.